Right, so the fifth part of our Ridley Scott retrospective is focusing on Black Hawk Down. This was released in 2001, and it is a war film, and it's apparently based on a true story, which I'll comment on that later. But Mike, I want to know what your thoughts were on this movie.
Yeah. I didn't think this was a bad movie at all, but I have to be honest and say that I didn't too much enjoy it really, and I think maybe the main reason for that is it's not really all that character driven. The main focus here in the movie, though, I know is for the mission, but I really didn't still find myself hooked on it at all. I can say though is that the movie it's very fast paced, and even when it does start to slow down, I mean it picks back up immediately. I mean there's action going on almost constantly. I mean it's wild, and then it's really well shot, and the movie flows so well. Unlike like Kingdom of Heaven, this movie it really does flow well. Moving on to the next, and going from to the different missions. But yeah, I think that was my main issue with it. Is like I just didn't really find myself really hooked to everything that was going on. I did find myself kind of getting lost or not, and just kind of losing interest from time to time. But but the movie really does look great and all of that. And I know you said you enjoyed it, so I'll let you take it from there to see what you really like about it.
Black Hawk Down is a movie that I actually have watched this when it came out in theaters. At the time, I was like in the first grade, so I was way too young to be watching a movie like this. When I first saw it, I didn't really, obviously at that age, I didn't know what to really think about it. Looking back at it now that I'm older, yeah, it's a great action movie, which is the main focus here. As far as characters go, though, there's not a whole lot of emphasis on the actual individual characters, which was a common criticism with this amongst film critics, and they were 100% uh, correct in that criticism, and it's a valid criticism because while the movie does it is very fast paced, and once the action starts, it's pretty much it does not stop until like the very end. Yeah, it's just nonstop, in your face, gunfire from the moment the action actually begins. The movie doesn't spend a whole lot of time on the actual characters aside from the beginning, and what happens in the beginning really could have been trimmed down quite a bit, and it doesn't really give you any reason to care about any of these characters. And this is another movie where Ridley Scott wastes some of the main star talent that appeared in this. For example, Orlando Bloom is just completely wasted in this. I don't even know why he was even cast, because he plays some guy who falls out of a helicopter, and then you don't see him again for the rest of the movie, and it's like anyone could have played that role. I don't know why you got Orlando Bloom to do something like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it really doesn't make much sense. And then they have they have some of these other some of these other actors in it, such as Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, who now is known for playing Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones. His character was just completely wasted in this movie as well. The movie has an issue of just wasting characters, wasting these actors. And the only reason I would say it's not as big of a deal as it would be in other movies is because the movie is placing more of an emphasis on what the task is, what these characters are actually trying to accomplish. And I can't really criticize the story for just the concept of what it is, because it is based on a true story. What I can criticize it for, though, is the fact that this there's quite a few historical inaccuracies, and some of those
Yeah.
some of those criticisms were made as far as the inaccuracies were made by the actual soldiers who lived through this. That's something I can knock the studio for, and Ridley Scott, is that if you're gonna tell a story that actually took place, then you need to try and be as authentic as possible. And it seems that they just took the easy way out and just made up, fabricated some shit, just to sell more tickets in the theater, and that's not right to me. One of the main things I'm talking about is like apparently this takes place in Somalia, yet there's no actual Somalis that they hired to be in the movie. It seems like they just hired some random black extras and just threw them into the movie, and that's just
Don't even got him speaking Somali.
yeah, they tried to get some of these people to speak Somali, and they're it's really just like some made up bullshit. Um, and the like actual Somalis actually fucking hate this movie, and said that they were portrayed to be like savage dogs, that are just bloodthirsty. Now, again, I don't know the full context of the true story that this movie is based off of, but when you have people coming out and saying it didn't happen, it didn't happen this way, yeah, that's when it's like, okay, so this is just some Hollywood bullshit, basically. Um, yeah, so that's really my thoughts on it. It's a great action movie, but beyond that, it doesn't have any depth for anything else. It's shot very well. Love the editing on it. The action sequences are fantastic, and it keeps the adrenaline up once the action starts. So yeah, definitely easily I would say one of the best war movies ever made, just in terms of the action. But outside of that, yeah, there's nothing really here. Um, it's a pretty good movie, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's one of Ridley Scott's best as far as the actual story goes. So yeah, that's really my thoughts on it. What about you?
Like I said, not a bad movie at all. Not at all. But yeah, I didn't really too much enjoy it, as I was saying earlier. I know it's more focused on the mission, but then again, like I was saying, I was still struggling to care too much about the mission and what the characters were going through, since there wasn't much going on for them as well. But yeah, a lot of action. I mean, there's always something going on, and it's moving extremely fast. Yeah, I mean, there's a few moments where it does slow down, but like I said, the movie just picks back up immediately, and you're like right back in, and it can get real crazy. Like you were saying, the action scenes are shot great, and if you're in for that, I mean, it won't always feel like it's tense for you. So if that's for you, then I think you'll definitely enjoy it.
Yeah. I will say that I guess the generals or whatever that they had in this movie, yeah, they really
Yeah.
like fucked everyone over, like the characters and everything, because they just
Oh
kept
yeah.
making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, to the point where they had to be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's time to retreat and pull out. It's like you guys should have done that like 20 minutes ago. It would have saved
Right.
a lot of your guys. It would have saved quite a few lives. But yeah, they don't do that.
Mhm.
That's why I'm curious. I'm curious as to what actually happened. But I guess I would have to like watch a documentary or something if one exists on this. Which there probably is a documentary for this somewhere. So, but yeah, that's Black Hawk Down.